A warm welcome to you all to English Mania, the world of English language, literature, and communication. Myself, Priyanka Arun. Today, let's discuss some key concepts and ideas about metaphysical poetry. The term metaphysical poets was coined by the critic Samuel Johnson in his The Lives of the Poets. To be particular, it is in the life of Abraham Cowley. John Dryden was the first to apply the term to 17th century poetry when he criticized John Donne by saying he affects the metaphysics. Metaphysical poets, they were men of knowledge. They were information junkies who placed themselves in the epitome of knowledge. They enormously used metaphysical conceit in their poetry to exhibit their knowledge, and that itself gave it an obscure nature. Metaphysical conceit, in the words of Samuel Johnson, it is the most heterogeneous ideas are yoked by violence together. In a metaphysical conceit, we can see two long-drawn ideas are brought into conjunction. For example, in John Donne's poem, The Valediction Forbidding Morning, we can see two lovers. Lovers are compared to a pair of compass. The metaphysical poets, they became famous after the publication of the essay The Metaphysical Poets in 1921 by T.S. Eliot. Now let's discuss the characteristics of metaphysical poetry. First of all, large dose of wit. The metaphysical poets, they usually play with intellect as if the Elizabethan poets play with emotions. Next is metaphysical conceit that we discussed already. Next is shock the reader with metaphysical questions. The metaphysical poets, they often ask metaphysical questions like the existence of God and all, and shock the reader off his balance. Fourth one is abrupt opening. Most of the metaphysical poems opens abruptly. For example, the poem Canonization by Donne, it opens with the line, "For God's sake, hold your tongue and let me love." Next characteristic is prose-like diction. Metaphysical poets, they mix poetry with ordinary speech. Next is use of paradox, irony, pun and hyperbole. They use all this figure of speeches enormously in their poetry. And all these gave their poetry an obscure nature. The major metaphysical poets, let's see who are they. John Donne, Andrew Marvell, George Herbert, Henry Vaughan, Abraham Cowley, Richard Crashaw. Now let's see John Donne and his popular work. John Donne is popularly known as the monarch of wit, and his famous poems are A Valediction Forbidding Morning, Holy Sonnets. There are 19 holy sonnets by him. The Canonization, The Good Morrow, Death Be Not Proud, The Sun Rising, etc. Next is Andrew Marvell. His famous poems are To His Coy Mistress, in which we can see the famous theme of Carpe Diem, which means seize the day. Another poem, The Garden. Next is An Orasian Ode. Henry Vaughan, he is famous for his poem The Retreat, which deals with the theme Child is Father of Man. Wordsworth, for his Immortality Ode, took the theme from this poem. Abraham Cowley is famous for his poems The Mistress and Poetical Blossoms. Richard Crashaw, his famous poems are An Epitaph Upon Husband and Wife, A Song, Christ Crucified, etc. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for similar videos. Goodbye. Take care.